Gamers typically enjoy coming across Easter eggs in games because they often feel like a private joke between the developers and their fans. Of course, there are also some Easter eggs that leave fans wondering why the developer bothered to include it in the first place. Before we get into this video, be sure to subscribe to The Gamer and ring the bell to stay up to date with all things gaming. Here are the top 5 cringiest video game Easter eggs ever. Number 1. Saints Row 2. Saints Row 2 is similar to the Grand Theft Auto franchise. Players can enjoy a life of crime and utilize the environment around them to inflict maximum damage on civilians. That said, sandbox games such as Saints Row 2 are typically rife with Easter eggs. However, this particular Easter egg is completely unexpected since it doesn't really fit in with the nature of the game. In a game where players can commit various crimes, running across a funny or cute Easter egg seems out of place, but that's exactly what happens. If players explore the area surrounding the prison island, they're going to run into a whopper of an Easter egg. After following an arrow out to sea, players can follow a series of islands and arrows until they reach the final island. That is, right up until it disappears and players are confronted with a giant purple bunny. Probably a better alternative to the other giant purple thing in Saints Row III. Number 2. Silent Hill 2. The Silent Hill franchise is well known for being creepy. The overall atmosphere and environment are beyond strange. The storylines are terrifying, and most players will be left with an unsettling feeling upon completing any of the Silent Hill titles. If the game itself isn't creepy enough, surely the Silent Hill developers included a few terrifying Easter eggs for players to discover. Of course they did! And stop calling them Shirley. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. Just cut it, okay? While most players would assume that every Easter egg in a Silent Hill game would be nightmare-inducing, they would be 100% incorrect. This Easter egg, while certainly a head-scratcher, isn't the least bit terrifying unless players have a fear of dogs. If players complete Silent Hill 2 once, they can then opt to play through the game a second time. After discovering a bony key, players will find that it unlocks a secret room. What lies beyond that door will leave players saying, "What the f?" With all of the horrors Silent Hill 2 players are subject to, the last thing anyone would expect behind that door is a lovable dog who has been orchestrating the entire nightmarish scenario. This dog is not a good boy. Number 3. Crysis II. First-person shooters are fairly intense. Crysis II is no exception since players have to enforce the law and combat the aliens that threaten their very existence. In other words, when a game consists of shooting, being shot, and fighting aliens, it's pretty much a given that the atmosphere is somewhat serious. For the most part, the game is a typical first-person shooter, which is exactly why this Easter egg makes even less sense. Considering that the game is about warfare against aliens, a fairly serious matter, no player would ever expect this odd and somewhat useless Easter egg. If players head to Wall Street and find the correct building, they can set foot inside and take the elevator to the next floor. Okay, so not really, because once the elevator door opens, players will be bewildered by an impromptu disco elevator dance-off. I like to call them Ronin and Star-Lord. Number 4. Gears of War 3. The Gears of War franchise is known for its hard-hitting action and combat. As most players know, games that include warfare and guns are typically serious in nature. No player wants to get killed because they were too busy laughing at an Easter egg to pay attention. The Gears of War franchise does include a fair amount of Easter eggs, however, and some of them can be quite entertaining, which isn't what most players would expect. When it comes to Easter eggs, this particular Gears of War 3 Easter egg is hard to beat. If players get to the deck area with the first cog tag in Act 1-1, a large golden chicken that breathes fire will appear. But wait, there's more! If players complete this task on 4-player Insane, they can unlock the Cluck Shot. Yes, it does shoot explosive chickens. Number 5. Diablo III. RPGs are typically a serious venture. Considering that most of them involve either dungeon crawls or preparing for a major boss battle, it's somewhat expected that any game in the RPG genre will lean toward being more serious. The Diablo franchise is, as to be expected, an involved role-playing series where players can pick their character class, level up, and go to battle with various foes. When there's an ominous prophecy and a fallen star in New Tristram, there's not much room for joking around. Most players, at least, are deeply involved in the storyline and their characters, so adding an Easter egg that's a bit on the weird side may seem out of character for the Diablo franchise. Oh, who am I kidding? These are the guys that made the secret cow level! Fortunately, the Diablo developers didn't take themselves too seriously, and this Easter egg is too strange to ignore. Whimsyshire, yes, it is whimsical, can be reached by acquiring a bunch of random items from random acts, assembling them into a staff, and ripping a hole in time and space to reveal a pony-filled wonderland of magic and friendship. So, have you found any of these cringy Easter eggs? Are there any Easter eggs that we missed? Let us know in the comments section below. And don't forget to click that subscribe button so you can keep up with all of our videos. Thanks for watching!
Thank you.